We are weeks away from WrestleMania, and Roman Reigns is approaching 1,000 days as a Universal Champion. On the grandest stage of them all, though, he will face his toughest test yet. Could Cody Rhodes be the man who finally dethrones him? Well, I am with him today. I'm very excited, and I'm hopefully going to find out. How are you doing, Cody?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. The road to WrestleMania has been filled with real splendor so far in terms of moments like hanging out with John Cena for a minute and just being in Madison Square Garden the other night. It's been very special. I've tried to kind of take a moment each day to take it all in.
Well, you hanging out with John Cena, it's like me hanging out with Cody Rhodes right now. I'm a massive fan of you. I've always wanted to interview you. So this means a lot to me today as well, I've got to say. And what I mean by that is your comeback at Mania 38 was nothing short of spectacular. Watching it live on TV made me jealous I was not there to witness that moment myself. But how did it feel for you making your entrance and being surrounded by the WWE Universe for the first time in so long?
There's this kind of look on my face when I came out that you don't see often. And it was more a look of, I wouldn't say confusion as much as just bewilderment. I know what WrestleMania is, and I know what Seth Rollins is, and I'm aware of the context that I am in, but I don't think it hit me really until I came up the elevator and saw everyone. I don't think it hit me what I had signed up for in terms of a moment like that can change your life. And I had gone through a really tumultuous several months with everything as far as moving on from my former job with AEW and what I might do next. And this popped up in the most appropriate of times. And that match and that moment, everything that I wanted to do the first go round with WWE, everything I wanted to do since I was a kid, I felt, and that's something you can see in my face, I felt like it was very possible now, very possible, if not inevitable. And that's just a blessed and wonderful memory.
Well, thank you so much for coming back. We absolutely love it. And congratulations on your win at Royal Rumble. As we know, and I mentioned, Roman Reigns is closing in on 1,000 days as a Universal Champion, which is a crazy feat in this modern era. But what makes you different from everyone else that has tried and failed to take the title?
Well, I think a lot of the individuals who have tried and failed have come so close. And I'll use Drew McIntyre as an example in Cardiff at Clash at the Castle. So close, and I do tip my cap to all of them, Sami Zayn as well in Montreal, because I think that perhaps has weathered Roman Reigns, and I'm not assuming he's weathered or he's behind or he's less than because of it, but it's either hurt him or it's helped him. And if it's helped him, then I already know I'm going up against the very, very best in the world. I think the thing that makes me the most difficult challenge, and perhaps the man to do this, is the fact that is really where I excel. It's an intangible, there's things like charisma and how people do their interviews and how people wrestle and their bodies. And there's all these metrics that we can judge a superstar or a wrestler by. But sometimes there's that thing we don't take into account, that X factor. And my life has been filled with that thing you didn't take into account, my professional life. I mean, I'm the one guy who ever looked at this place and said, good luck in your future endeavors. So I have a knack for that. And I'm hoping that's what pushes us into the end zone for me. I'm not banking on it as much as I'm banking on preparation, hard work, and getting myself ready for it. But I don't think Roman's faced anyone like me who wants to win the level that I want to win at.
Cody, you look like somebody that doesn't have much fear. Do you fear Roman Reigns at all, or not really? When you go into that match, you go in it with no fear, or is there some slight fear against Roman Reigns?
Well, I think fear is a really healthy thing. I think it's a really healthy thing in terms of you have to be afraid of someone who's that caliber of athlete. I tell people all the time, I grew up in the state of Georgia. In the state of Georgia, there's a college that is the MIT of the South, an incredibly difficult university to get into that I could count on one hand the friends I know with 4.0 GPAs who got into, and that's Georgia Tech, where Roman went to school, where Roman played football on an NCAA level. Suffice to say, Roman Reigns is a very, very smart individual, in addition to the physique, in addition to the power and the strength that you see. So for someone to say they're not afraid, I feel like that doesn't behoove them. I am afraid of the things that Roman can do really great and really well and what he brings. And that fear leans into what game plan you bring to the table that day. What is the game plan heading into WrestleMania? If you have no fear, you're not going to be thinking that way. I think fear is a very healthy thing. Now, I say that, but also in terms of losing and in terms of failure in this profession, I've experienced a great deal of it. So I don't look at it. I don't look at it as an opportunity to fail as much as it's an opportunity to learn. And I'm not just talking about the end of the match. I'm talking about every moment in the match. You have to learn as the match goes on too. But certainly there's fear on my end as far as a healthy amount of fear. And I have a feeling there's fear on his end. Almost 1,000 days. Wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be wonderful? And I know he wants to get that, but does he want to get that as bad as I want to get what I want?
Well, Roman has Paul Heyman in his corner. What would it have meant for you to have your father, Dusty Rhodes, in your corner at this year's Mania? And what final advice do you think he would have given you before this big moment?
Well, that's a great question. I know that a lot of people in the industry have kind of their opinions on, of course, their opinions and their anecdotes and their stories on my father. And one thing I can tell people is nobody knew him as well as me or my sister. No one knew him as well as we did. And knowing that, I don't think he would have wanted to be in my corner. I think he would have wanted to be somewhere private, somewhere with, where he could just enjoy it. He really had a great appreciation for what he did already. And anytime I ever tried to drag him out to do something, he would do it for me because he loved me, but also he wanted to say goodbye at the right time. And I think that's why he liked being behind the scenes with what he did at NXT and working with someone like a Roman Reigns. So I think he'd be hiding somewhere watching this. And I think if he could tell me anything as far as advice, the thing he always used to say when it came to a great TV match or a great moment that you're going to have on Raw or SmackDown, he'd always say, hit your finish. Hit your finish. It's just an old school mentality of consistently reminding the audience, this is the thing that puts this match away. This is the thing. He had the bionic elbow. I have Crossroads. And hit your finish sounds awfully a lot like finish the story in my case. And I think they would go hand in hand.
Now, Cody, I know you took acting classes at the beginning of your career, hence why you are one of the best superstars on the mic. But you also refereed some matches when you were younger. If you could choose a special guest ref for your match, who would you choose? Or would you like it to be played fairly down the middle and not have any special ref?
Well, there's a really good contingency of referees at WWE, a really young, wonderful crew. And then there's some luminary referees who have been around for some time, who have great experience, like a Chad Padden. John Cone is another wonderful referee from the past. Mike Chioda, legendary referee as well. I think I'd like to mix it up, though. If I was to bring in a referee, I think that Triple H would be a wonderful referee for this situation. Oh, yeah. And I think his current position, obviously, that would prevent him from that station. But another really good one who can't stand either Roman or myself is Seth Rollins. And I think Seth Rollins would be forced to, by his own bias towards us both, to call it down the middle. So that's another one that could be really interesting.
Now, Cody, I did a lot of research. I read online that you used to play a lot of FIFA. I also searched the internet and I couldn't find any article that shows me or tells me which soccer or football team you support. Could you tell me? Do you have one? Do you support any soccer team?
It's funny. I like to support my friends, and when I support my friends, I usually go the way that they go. And I had a friend who was really into, Bad News Barrett was really into, I believe, Preston, correct?
Preston North End. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not doing very well.
Yeah, I went that way. And I wasn't a sincere fan as much as I was a bystanding fan. Then when I worked for Tony Khan and the Khan family, I was all in on the Fulham situation. Then I had a wonderful woman who worked in our house who was really big on Chelsea. And I seem to think that probably would be the team I'd like the most, the latter. Chelsea.
Just Cody, you are officially my favorite WWE superstar. You're wearing blue today, and I support Chelsea. You have made my day. Yes.
There was really good energy. There was good energy around them as a fan, and I thought, well, you don't want to be, some fandoms, especially with American football, there's a toxicity to some fandoms. Some fandoms are really chip on their shoulder. Some are up, some are down. Some want a great time. There was good energy there, so that's why I'd go with Chelsea.
Oh, Cody Rhodes supports Chelsea. My day has officially been made. You had a heartwarming moment with John Cena recently on Raw. You revealed on Twitter that he told you, reward their noise every time. What is the best advice that he has actually given you, though, throughout your career? So,
actually, that was something he told me in the car when I was driving him around in 2008, 2009.
So that wasn't what he said to you?
No, what he said to me on Raw was, I was telling him if he ever does another match, I would like it to be with him. And he, I think you can hear him pretty well, says, I can't promise that. But I also didn't want to make it about myself in that moment. So I just endlessly thanked him. And then he was at the Nightmare Factory like a week later talking to our students. But that was something in the car that it's not just his axiom. It was a genuine way he approached live events and shows, was rewarding their noise. And what a simpler way to look at that is kids come to a show and they see their guy hurt and they see their guy down. They start clapping. They want something from him. He was a big proponent in always doing something so that they know if they do something, he'll be up for them or he'll at least try. And I think looking at the flow of a live event, looking at the flow of a premium live event, there is something huge to that because we can't just do these matches in the ring, bell to bell, for each other. We're doing them for this audience that is sitting there in the building that night, as well as worldwide on television. And you have to try and step into their shoes. You're so focused on what you're doing, sure, but you have to step into their shoes and what do they want? And can I give it to them? Or is it my job to take it away from them? That was just something that always sat with me. And when in practice, always worked.
Cody, final question. Could you just let us know, quick summary, what it would mean to you to finally get your hands on the WWE Universal Championship and become a world champion in the WWE?
It would mean vindication. I've made a great career out of proving people wrong. And I've kind of taken the attitude as of now about proving people right, especially this new audience with WWE that has really warmly welcomed me back, a whole new audience that kind of pairs well with the independent audience that I was able to bring over and hopefully bring as many folks as I could. They pair so well together. And it's vindication for both those who are just in it now, who this is their first ride with the American Nightmare and they like what they're seeing. And then it's vindication for those who have been there every step of the way. Like the song Kingdom says, I'll follow you till the end. When is the end? Is the end when I win the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship? Or is the end when I win that title and then take it every single place I can possibly take it and excel and deliver on a level that no champion has done in years? I want to cut a schedule like Bret Hart, like Ric Flair. I want to do something very different than modern champions have done, where there's a bit of a less is more schedule. I want a more is more schedule. And it would mean vindication for me, for sure.
Well, good luck, Cody Rhodes. We are all behind you at WrestleMania. Lovely. Thank you so much.